What's up, y'all? So, Happy New Year if you're watching this. Let's get into these new laws that just went into effect January 1st. Today, let's get into it. So, inmates can now make free phone calls. I feel like this should have been, like what's been happening, but hey, still a win.
Look, that first 48 hours is everything, so being able to make a free phone call.
Yeah, it's like that's the least you could do, like they locked you up and they want you to like pay to call a close
It's not even to
family
pay
member.
you gotta ask somebody for a three-way. So you be like, yo, you see your homie on the phone, you be like, yo, you think I can get a three-way so I can call X, Y, and Z? So it's like now you ain't gotta do that to be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Prosecutors can no longer use rap lyrics as evidence.
I mean, that's a good look for LA. I mean, in other places this don't apply yet, but I think this is a win for, an LA resident.
Yeah, because a lot of people like don't really live with their rap, so.
Yeah. I mean,
so yeah.
I think this is a win for sure.
Okay. So, Cadillac converter theft cracked down. Let's talk about the epidemic. I think we all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that got hit. And it ain't a nice feeling at all. At all.
They just hit us, man.
At all. But thankfully, they didn't get away with it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Asia.
Yes, they got caught in the act and didn't have enough time, but just that feeling though, just going through that is like.
Yeah, you felt violated. Like I remember when they broke in our cars. Like nah, that's a different type of feeling.
Yeah,
you feel
so
violated.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like them having to have to go through a little bit more to kind of get it off. Shit, that's a win, at least in my book.
Yeah, so that's good. I think you got to submit like a whole bunch of different information about the vehicle where you got the converter, so that's going to make it harder for them to like really like think twice about where to sell it, because they take it off to sell it. Like
I'm just happy they didn't get off with ours, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thankfully left it hanging.
But it was close though.
And if you did that, we're not going to even talk about that because you're not worth this energy. Cracking down a little bit harder on hiring and doing a criminal background check on people who work at schools. I guess with all the school shootings, I guess I think that's
I'm for it. I mean, especially like when you're working with kids and you working with the youth, I think like this is mandatory a win. Just for the simple fact that we all understand the times we living in, like.
Yeah, you at least want your kid to be protected, like extra protected. So.
Yes, that's a win. That's a win for the city.
So fast food workers are getting a bump in minimum wage, $22 an hour.
I don't know. I mean, this one, because it's in my perspective of this is like. Minimum wage should be a dub. Minimum a dub. Because it's like, think about it. Like, you go to work and your first hour goes to food. Because if you think about it, like, any fast food restaurant, let's say if you go to lunch, you're going to spend $12 to a dub. Mm-hmm. That's like the minimum of what you're going, like, any fast food restaurant. So it's like, you think about it, your first hour is going to food. Yeah. And, like, at 15 is like, it's tough. Like,
yeah, and they're basically saying too, like they're like whenever the cost of living goes up, they have to make an adjustment with it. So I think.
But this don't even like equate to like what the cost of living is like.
What you think the minimum should be?
A dub, like I said, $20. A minimum should be $20 an hour because it's like.
But even then, that's on the low range too.
I mean, that's on the low range, but I mean, ideally. I mean, probably 25 for sure because it is LA, but this 15 is like, gotta have multiple hustles to survive, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so they're banning the fur of sale So basically, no fur products can be sewn.
Yeah, I mean, this one ain't really like.
Yeah, we're not really fur people, but that's definitely a win. Like, it's fur. Like, let the animal have his fur. Dang, why you want to take his fur off and sell his fur? That is just like, I'm for the animals. Okay, so jaywalking, pedestrians can cross the street outside of an intersection without getting a ticket, as long as it's safe to do so. That's where they're gonna run into trouble right there. As long as it's safe to do so, like, obviously 2 different people are gonna think differently about.
I think this is just petty. Like, the officer that gives somebody a ticket for this is like a petty officer. He just really didn't have like nothing to do. He had too much time on his hands because it's like, this is like.
Yeah, that's one of the ones, like, I definitely don't
petty,
have nothing
like,
to do,
yeah.
and I feel like using my authority, and that's weak.
That's another reaction. 2023 new laws.
January 1st, it was not playing on January 1st.
Make sure you hit the link in the bio for all the new merch, new music. So you hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications. It's the clan, it's the gang.
I could do it by myself, but it ain't gon' be as fun.